A super speedway superstar returns to victory lane in a wild, wild race at the Talladega Super Speedway. Let's talk Talladega, the Yellowwood 500. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. It's another post-race review, Talladega edition. It's Dega, baby. We back. It's Alabama. It's the only good thing in Alabama, considering how the Crimson Tide did last night against Vanderbilt. But for all you Alabama fans out there, we're not going to talk about that. What happened there? We're going to talk about what happened. We're not going to talk about what happened in Nashville, or not going to talk about what happened in Nashville or Tuscaloosa. Today we're talking about what happened in Talladega, Alabama. Oh my goodness. This race was something else. This race was something else. All you need to know about this race is they were 4 wide for about 15 to 20 laps in stage 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 wide. Constantly. Boom, boom, boom. Like, my man. Chill. I know stage points are important, but are they really 4 wide, like 7 rows deep important? But yeah, they didn't. I don't think they had to do that. But anyway, otherwise, what happened in the race? Daniel Suarez had to serve a drive-through penalty at the very beginning of the race. When the pack caught him, he thought he'd be Kevin LePage, I suppose, and just completely turned right to get up into the pack. Turned up into BJ McLeod, wrecked himself, and that was pretty well a major. It might as well have been the end of Suarez's day, but he was able to work his way back. Now that I think about it, he did work his way back up onto the lead lap. He did have a decent shot at it towards the end of the race, but yeah, it was just a lot of crazy racing, man. A lot of fuel saving, as per usual at these super speedways. A lot of half throttle through the corners and the straights. The leader was virtually the only one who was full throttle the whole time. Excuse me again. But I ate a lot of pizza this race. I'm sorry I'm recording this an hour late, by the way. I was at a friend's house watching this. But, like, dude, I don't get, like, why people want to save fuel so much. I mean, I do get why, but, like, it's super speedways changes so much through the years. So much. Everybody's running half throttle unless you're the leader. Michael McDowell led the first stage for about, like, 40 laps of it, so he was out there blocking every lane, running full throttle. Ryan Preece had the Ricky Bobby scheme back again. He was out hauling balls, so good on Ryan Preece. But man, it was a great end of stage 1. I mean, looking back at it here, I remember Chris Buescher got the stage, but they were I just still can't believe they were 4 wide, like 4 rows deep. And then yeah, I think Kyle Larson was in contention to win the stage. Who else was? I think William Byron, maybe? I can't remember fully, but stage 2 was a lot of the same, except it was more 2 or 3 wide. Martin Truex did actually spin while they were coming into pit road. This usually happens once or twice, I found, whenever we go to Talladega. One of the leaders seems to, or like one of the decent contenders does seem to slide on the pit road, lock up. I mean, you've seen quite a few speeding penalties today, but what else happened here? Austin Cindric did get the stage 2 victory, but at the end of stage 2, my pick to win and the favorite, in my opinion, Ryan Blaney, was hooked. Well, I wouldn't say he was hooked, but he was ran through the back of by Alex Bowman. Dude, I should not have ate that much pizza. But, yeah, so Blaney was hooked, ran through, into the wall, collects Ross Chastain. The 1 car's on fire. Those are the only 2 cars involved. Caution is out. Well, caution was out anyway for the end of the stage, but that was the end of Ryan Blaney and Ross Chastain's day. Ross Chastain will not get to defend his back-to-back race streak. And for Ryan Blaney, it's really, how do I say this for Blaney? Like, he was in a position where you thought, okay, he's probably going to have a rough day at the Roval. Well, I wouldn't say a rough day, but a stressful day, considering he got wrecked at Dega. But it ended up working out pretty well for him, considering the events that happened at the end of the race. But that's what happened there. And then, when we restarted for stage 3, it was 60 to go, virtually 2 wide through the whole stage. I mean, there was points where they tried to get the 3 wide going. I mean, I remember Daniel Hemrick starting the top line for a little bit. And yeah, but everybody came back down with around 20 to 15 to go, made their final pit stop, got their gas, and they were ready to roll back out there. What caused the big one was Todd Gilliland. He actually was too fast entering, so he had to come down and serve a penalty. He was out of the draft. The lead pack passes him in turn 2. They lose Cindric a little bit. The Fords lose Cindric in the draft. The 21 pushes the 22, which leads the 22 into the 6, and then the 6 hits the 22. The 2 can't handle it. He hooks it right. He actually went up into Stenhouse and then around, which was actually created the biggest wreck in the history of the Cup Series, at least in terms of cars involved, because, my God, looking at this wreck, you've seen Cindric, Logano, Berry, Burton. I mean, you can technically count Stenhouse. Chase Elliott got damaged. Briscoe was damaged. Noah Gragson, Ryan Preece. Absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. Looking back, I see Daniel Suarez. Daniel Hemrick took a big hit. Alex Bowman. Bubba Wallace. So many cars were involved in that wreck, man. Oh my God, it was absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. But luckily, everyone made it out okay. There were a few cars that were able to go back and get to the finish line. But then that set up the overtime restart. You had William Byron pushing the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse. And you had Kyle Larson pushing the 6 of Brad Keselowski. Kyle Larson didn't get wrecked at a super speedway. Miracles can truly happen. But, yeah. Then it was left down to the 6 versus the 47. Who could get the better push? And the better push came at the right time for Ricky Stenhouse from William Byron. Ricky Stenhouse just edges out Brad Keselowski. Don't take that out of context. With a photo finish by 6 1/1000ths of a second. Ricky Stenhouse beats Brad Keselowski. I'm surprised I didn't react crazier in the moment. I honestly thought it would have been closer. It looked closer from the angle that they showed it originally. But Stenhouse does beat William Byron. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. puts JTG Doherty back in victory lane. Stenhouse's 4th career win. All of them coming at Daytona and Talladega. Oh, in the Cup Series at least. But, man, I'm just looking back at that finish now. It was crazy to think. I mean, I think if Larson would have got to the 6 one more time, I think the 6 wins that race, but the 24 and the 47, they just had the more momentum coming out of turn 4 to the line, and they got the better shove. The 24 did make a move to the outside, but he just could not get the move done on the 47 of Stenhouse. He brings home in 3rd. Brad Keselowski in 2nd place, and yeah, that is how your day ends here at Talladega. What? It wasn't the most eventful race in terms of like accidents and like all these bookmark events, but it was still one of the best Talladega races I ever seen. And oh my God, the fall Talladega race, it never disappoints. It absolutely never disappoints. This is why we love super speedway racing. But in my opinion, 6 is the limit. We can't have any more than 6 super speedway races. And otherwise, I think we're going to lose drivers, lose the series a little bit. But yeah, let's talk the finishing results here. Let's talk stages and all that stuff. Well, we did already talk about the stages. Cindric got stage 2, Buescher got stage 1. But let's talk your finishing results. So, looking at your finishing results here, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. pulls off the win, followed by Brad Keselowski. The first playoff driver was William Byron, who actually was able to collect enough points to advance to the next round. So, one of my bold predictions for these playoffs has failed. I did, in fact, predict William Byron to go out in the 2nd round, and he's the first driver to advance on points. And he didn't. He essentially doesn't even have to show up to the Roval. Great job on me. Kyle Larson pulls it off a 4th place finish. That's pretty damn good for Larson in a super speedway. Eric Jones, Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell's been an underrated super speedway racer lately, I gotta say. Wasn't like 5th at Atlanta and 3rd at Daytona? That's not bad. Justin Haley pulls off his first top 10 since rejoining Spire Motorsports. Austin Dillon, Bubba Wallace, and Denny Hamlin rounded the top 10, and top 10 for Denny Hamlin is massive. We'll talk about the playoff bubble in a bit. Truex pulls home in 11th. Then it's Cody Ware, Ty Gibbs, Carson Hocevar, Shane Van Gisbergen, who actually had a really good race in my opinion. Shane Van Gisbergen was up there leading laps at points. Great job, SVG. That's the best super speedway racing I've seen out of him. Alex Bowman, Chris Buescher, Corey LaJoie, Kyle Busch, who made a big move on the last lap trying to get somebody to go with him in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Nobody did. So it kind of sucks. It's what it is, though. Tyler Reddick, Zane Smith, BJ McLeod, Todd Gilliland, Anthony Alfredo, Noah Gregson, Daniel Suarez, JJ Yeley, AJ Allmendinger, Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Cindric, Joey Logano, Harrison Burton, Ryan Preece, Shake and Bake, Josh Berry, Michael McDowell, Daniel Hemrick, Ryan Blaney, and Ross Chastain. Round out your results 1 through 40. Hey, we actually had a 40-car field this week. That's kind of cool. Well, here are your playoff standings heading into the final race of the round of 12. Yeah, the final race of the round of 12. I don't know what I was forgetting for a second. William Byron, he has advanced. He's automatically through to the final 8. He's finally turned it up, man. The real reason why I predicted Byron out in the second round is just I hadn't seen the speed there, so the speed showed up. William Byron's in the last 8. Good for him. And Christopher Bell plus 57. He's a former Roval winner. I expect him to be fine. Kyle Larson, another former Roval winner who does really well at road courses. He's looking pretty good. Denny Hamlin, collect some stage points. You should be fine. Alex Bowman, collect a few stage points. You should be fine too, in my opinion. Would this be the... No, Alex Bowman made the final 8 in 2020? The COVID year? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was... I remember hearing about him in that final 8 at Martinsville. I worked a lot of Sundays during that 2020 season. I was a student in like grade 11 or 12 at the time, so I couldn't really do much about it. I just kind of had to deal with it. Ryan Blaney, considering he had a wreck at the end of stage 2, he's in a very good position. Tyler Reddick, as long as he has a good Roval, I'm not too worried about him, but I mean, the speed has not been there for the 45 ever since Darlington, so you never know. Chase Elliott, 13. I honestly think the guy who's most likely to fall out of this top 8 is Reddick. Looking at this, the guy who's most likely to fall out is Reddick, the guy who won the regular season championship. That's kind of crazy to think about, but Logano, I think the Roval's the end of the road for Logano. I don't see him or Team Penske having the speed at the road courses. Well, him in particular, I just can't see him being very good at road courses, so I predict Joey Logano to be out in the round of 12. I think he's going home. Daniel Suarez and Austin Cindric could be the 2 guys who could potentially win the Roval. You never know. You never know. It's very possible, but it's also very not at the same time, so I could see Daniel Suarez potentially getting a top 5 or a top 10. Same with Austin Cindric, but I just feel like there's other guys in the field that are better than them. There's going to be the road course ringers there. They're going to have SVG there more than likely. AJ Allmendinger's going to be there, and all these other people. William Byron had a great Roval last year. Bell won the Roval last year, or 2 years ago. Kyle Larson won it 3 years ago. Elliott won it like 2 or 3 years in a row before that. Ryan Blaney even won it 1 year, so like, yeah, Briscoe actually in 2022. Briscoe was actually able to knock Kyle Larson out of the final 8 at the Roval, so maybe Briscoe could turn some heads. You never know. You never truly know, but let's put this race on the Skyler scale. Well, guys, to put this race on the Skyler scale, this was honestly a very good, very natural super speedway race. I really enjoyed it. I really did. I really hope we have a lot more super speedway races like this. I mean, the 28-car big one could have been avoided, but you expect at least one big one every time you go to a super speedway. in my opinion, this was better than the Daytona race we had in August. I really do think that. But overall, man, I gotta give this race a 90% on the Skyler scale. Wasn't perfect, but it wasn't good either. It was a great race. Like, I can't deny it. This was a great race. Pretty damn well perfect. I mean, if there's a way we can stop all the fuel saving sometime, that would be awesome. But I feel like working and managing the throttle, that's part of racing, you know? It provides a good technical aspect to super speedway racing, and I enjoy it. So I'm gonna give Talladega 90% on the Skyler scale. I'm excited for the Roval. Oh my god, it's Canadian Thanksgiving next week. Oh, I gotta put up with that. Great. How to skip out of Thanksgiving dinner to watch NASCAR race. That's probably gonna be my Google search this week. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought of this episode and why. And subscribe, notifications turn on so you never miss a future post-race upload. And don't forget to join the Patreon for early access to all my content and all kinds of other fun stuff. Bang! Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode of Post-Race Reviews as we will talk the Charlotte Roval. Please go back to the Oval NASCAR. The Roval is not needed anymore, and the Oval puts on great racing. Just my personal ask. But take care, guys, and peace!